Gemini, Gemini Rising, and of course all of you Gemini Moon people out there. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting February 17th, 2020. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's called integrativemysticism.com, or of course you can also just open up the down bar below and click on the links there. So what's going on when it comes to your astrology over the course of this coming week? Well, on Thursday, we've actually got Jupiter, the planet of luck, expansion, wealth, good fortune, as well as knowledge, in your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy and self-generated income, forming a gorgeous sextile to Neptune, which is actually in your 10th house of career. Neptune is the ruler of, well, illusions, but also fantasy, dreams, creativity, and inspiration. And we have an interesting twist going on this week as it relates to an opportunity to help propagate your good name and to proliferate your material resources, what you're bringing in, your personal abundance, whatever you want to call it, through a way that's a little bit unconventional. We are breaking with convention when it comes to work and when it comes to how we're making our mark on the world. Jupiter in the 8th house could indicate an alternative way for you to maybe ascend or grow your finances, or maybe to expand into new territory when it comes to how you're performing your work for other people. And Neptune in your 10th house is a transmutation or a morphing of your position into something different, if you would have it. Now, this is a conversation that goes on between Thursday and Saturday. This is a long sextile aspect, but because it's a sextile, you have to remember we have to give permission for this to happen in the moment, because we see this happening as a talk. It is going off script, which is what the theme of 2020 is, getting away from scripts, getting away from protocol. And this is going to be something a bit unorthodox, but it will pay off should you allow it to happen. On Friday, we've actually got Mars, the planet of action, passion, energy, conviction, sometimes conflict, but also overcoming obstacles, in your 8th house, Capricorn, recently arrived there, forming a gorgeous trine to Uranus, which is in your 12th house of your past, your privacy, your hidden zone, the things you keep away from the general public. And with Mars in the 8th house trine to Uranus, there seems to be some kind of breakthrough going on where you have an opportunity to go in a completely different direction when it comes to maybe what you are choosing to invest your time and personal energy into as it relates to maybe living a lifestyle or that is a little off the beaten path. Now, this could, of course, be maybe how we run things in our home, with Mars being the ruler, again, of self-generated income and passive income. Uranus in the 12th house could also indicate maybe a shift going on as it relates to how you relate to your past, or maybe extra money or resources is coming in this week or weekend that allows you to actually start funding maybe a plan or a goal or a dream or an aspiration that ultimately you didn't think was possible to get to work on right now. Let's not forget, Gemini, a lot of your readings the last couple of weeks have been all about shortening the timelines between point A and point B, or A and Z, when it comes to a lot of goals you're trying to get off the ground. And this is an accelerant period for a lot of you. I have one particular friend who's a Gemini who has been watching my videos and just, realized that, his plan with his wife to eventually move the family to Hawaii in 5 years could be done in 3. And you may have your own version of that start to show up. That's what the beginning of this year is all about. Think of this Mars and Uranus as a revolutionary accelerant for you. What can we actually start to make happen? What can we move away from to go really do what we want to do? Before we get on to the cards, I want to remind everybody I've got a special video coming out here very soon all about oversoul groups. oversouls in general and what you need to know about them, because that does also talk about things like kindred spirits, soul family, family monads, soulmates, and twin flames. Now that video is going to be coming out within about 24 hours of these horoscopes getting posted, so I want you guys to come back and check it out. I know it's a hot topic for a lot of people, but I am not going to be doing it as a skinny or a sample size either. I think that it's going to be important for everyone to be able to see exactly what this is all about, because oversoul groups is a big theme of 2020 as well. And so you can find that on my main channel page by clicking on my avatar below if it's after the 14th, or you can of course open up the down bar below and go to the Deep Talks playlist. So what's going on when it comes to your cards? Well, for your spiritual themes, we have the Star upright. And again, a lot of you Gemini people are getting a chance to see that certain goals, certain dreams, certain hopes and aspirations are not only possible, but they can actually happen much more quickly, and we are actually shifting our attention from spaces and ideas and places that are maybe prudent, secure, or again, conventional, Mars trine Uranus, and we are going in the direction of let's just freaking do it, if that makes sense. Because it looks like with the Star card upright, a lot of you are getting a chance to start not only accelerating in the direction of a big goal or a big dream you have for yourself or your family, but you're actually able to also start attracting and manifesting the resources, the connections, as well as the know-how to get it done much more quickly. We are abandoning the idea of following another person's footsteps or an instruction manual as it relates to whatever this plan is. And the Star card upright is indicating that we actually start doing the groundwork now, and then we start to see the more groundwork we do, the more of a vibrational match we are with our goal and aspiration. And so we might even start completing things in a more roundabout way. And this is a week where a lot of you are going to see, with the influx being the Three of Wands reversed, we really want to be on the ball with this, because the Three of Wands reversed as an influx card can be a little bit of a frustration. Sometimes we're missing signals, sometimes other people are missing signals. It's not a good idea to speak in code, by the way, so, let's not do that, Mercury-ruled people. But with the with Three of Wands reversed, we also see that we're also going to have to pay attention to where we may have also missed certain shortcuts in the past. Where have we been playing it too safe? Where do we need to watch out for people, not necessarily watch out in a judgmental way, but just watch out for people maybe pressuring a lifestyle of going on autopilot. There could be frustrations going on with other people who are kind of living on autopilot this week, right? They're just kind of conducting every day from muscle memory alone. The Three of Wands reverse can also indicate a need for you to pay attention to where you've got to be more involved this week. This is a week where you're going to also have to pay attention with keeping people on the ball, staying up to date, making those check-ins, whether it's a check-in when it comes to friends, family members, motions you've put forward at work, applications you've filed, because with the Three of Wands reversed, there is a boat we might accidentally miss. All right, I'll give you another example. At the time of recording this video, I actually live in Washington State in Seattle. And sometimes you just can't time the ferry. You just don't know when a ferry is going to show up or come and go. And with the Three of Wands reversed, you might find out that if you are trusting to the schedule that's put online, you might be missing something that's either ahead of itself, or it's so late from, its first run that it's actually early for the next run. So you have to see what you can do to play around. You may have a pleasant surprise, but don't trust to the script. When it comes to the outflux, what's going away, we actually have the Eight of Wands upright. And so the Eight of Wands going away is sort of, I guess you could say, a continuation of the Three of Wands reversed. The Eight of Wands upright going away can indicate that a lot of things that were maybe kind of going at a quick pace in an automatic fashion, it's not happening now. Now we need to start spinning our plates again. Okay, that's just an expression. You can look it up on Google. But we need to start actually working on reinitiating things that maybe we thought should be able to take care of themselves. Now, the reason that's sometimes important is because, well, maybe they're not meant to take care of themselves. Maybe the first draft, maybe the first iteration, the first effort, the first motion was incomplete. We get a chance to reinitiate and we actually get something better. And with the Eight of Wands, a lot of works in progress may feel like they are stalling this week, but that just means they need some fresh energy and they need to actually be transmuted into better iterations of themselves. Now, moving on to the bottom row with the mundane, we actually have for your material concerns, we have the Five of Swords upright. This week, when it comes to your professional and your financial priorities, a lot of you, I'm seeing a lot of you Gemini people actually taking your leave of a circumstance that ultimately has become inhospitable to you. Now, it could be inhospitable in a number of different ways, but I am seeing with the Five of Swords, it may be something where we're even burning a bridge at the same time. Hopefully it doesn't have to come to that. You do have free will, and you know I'm not a fatalist reader, and I don't do fatalist readings if that's what you're ever going to come to me for. I do believe in the power of free will. And with the Five of Swords upright, it does look like, however, something that has become inhospitable, whether it's an account, a financial arrangement, a living situation, or maybe even a work group or a work circumstance that you're involved in, has a chance to come to an end, where I think we can do it in a peaceful way on the higher polarity, or we might do it in a not so peaceful way on the lower polarity. The Five of Swords upright is indicating that at the very least, it's important to understand that, yes, everyone in this situation does need to be taking some space from each other. It may be wise for you to consider finding a new way to allocate your time when it comes to these processes. Yes, a cutoff is necessary. Yes, it is time to take our space and our leave. But do we have to burn bridges? Do we have to make it a fight? Do we have to drag it out? No. This will be a good way for you to also save your time, your energy, and your resources for a better alternative. I am seeing there is something positive coming your way. Just again, when you look at the Five of Swords, we do see that, yes, even though it may feel like a Pyrrhic victory, it is a victory nonetheless. You will be moving on to either a better group, a better situation, or a better arrangement. Just make sure we don't have to do it in a way where it's, it's as hard as possible. When it comes to the external, when it comes to friends and your relatives and maybe the other people in your life, we actually have the Two of Swords upright. And I feel like you are ultimately in a situation where a person is not able to make a decision that they should be able to, as an adult, make for themselves. With the Two of Swords, I'm not trying to say that in a mean way, by the way, but I just get this weird vibration that somebody is trying to get you to make up a big decision that they should be making for their own lives. In a lot of cases with the Five of Swords, this can happen where somebody is asking you to do something they don't want to think about anymore. Maybe they're conflict averse. And the Two of Swords is indicating that they can't think of a better option right now. Now, ultimately, with the Two of Swords upright, you, I think, should be maybe looking at the best interest for all concerned, and it may not necessarily be what this person wants to hear, or maybe it's not something that you would like to see happen, but if it's the best outcome or the best we can do at this point in time, they're going to need to understand this. All right, because with the Two of Swords upright, I feel like, yeah, it's almost like you're being put in the decision spot, or decision spot. You're being put in the position where you have to make a life or death decision that somebody else should have, again, the wherewithal to make for themselves. On the relationships front, when it comes to romance and love, well, we've got the Judgment card upright. And it does look like you and a partner, or you and somebody new, are actually deciding to put this relationship to the test, but not in a negative way. Not in a life, not in a reality TV produced moment cry for help way, but in a Judgment card look. I think that this relationship needs to move on to the next level. After the Judgment card in the Major Arcana, we have the World, the upgrade, the update, the evolution. Now, the Judgment card is sort of putting in the work. It's the test, it's the performance, it's the trial run of a new life, it's the trial run of a new way of doing things. In a new partnership opportunity, you may actually get yourself pretty scared by finding that you find somebody that is not only super compatible, but it makes me think of Sally Owens in Practical Magic, scared as hell of the very person that she actually manifested for herself. Or maybe for a lot of you who are currently coupled, your partner deciding to say, F it, let's go for it, like we've talked about this whole time. Let's go for it. The Judgment card upright is indicating a test. Were you playing it safe by keeping it too far in your future? Maybe you could have it sooner. So that's your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hey, you all know I appreciate it. And if you ever wish to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.